Well, some of the best pictures from this storm have come from Sky 11.
Our Julie Koenig has the high seat in the air right now. Julie, you still freezing up there?
Yes, we've got the high and the very chilly seat up here. It's basically a flying icebox that we're in, but let's take a look down at Spaghetti Junction. Normally it would be a very busy mix of cars and concrete at this noon rush hour. Right now, though, just a little bit of traffic, a few trucks heading south on I65. You had talked earlier about them starting to tow stranded vehicles off the highways, that beginning at 1 o'clock. If you can look there on the ramp heading east on 64, you can see an example of what's causing bottlenecks around. There's about 3 trucks stranded there, a few cars dotting I-71 as you head north towards Cincinnati. Folks, please, please don't get out unless you absolutely have to. Number one, it's just too cold. Trust me, where it's probably a few degrees colder up here above the city. But basically, there's no need to be out today unless you absolutely have to. The unfortunate thing about this all is that it is so cold you can't get out and enjoy it. It's really a breathtaking view up here. If you can see the Ohio, there is a steam rising off of it. Actually, some ice forming on the river, which will tell you how cold it is outside. So this afternoon, we'll stay up here and try and bring you some of the prettier side of this storm. It actually has left Kentuckiana looking very lovely. Unfortunately, it's been too miserable to enjoy it. Rachel and Doug.
All right. Thanks a lot, Julie.
Julie, thanks so much. Well, as we mentioned to you, some of the best pictures that we've seen on this storm have been coming from our helicopter. It has been up in the air full time since yesterday. And you want to see the true power of a downed power line, just look at this. From the air in Sky 11, notice the sparks, the steam coming up there. The fire in the snow. This is from southwest Jefferson County yesterday off Dixie Highway near Butler High School. The pure power coming out of that line is evident from even high in the air, burning right through the snow to the ground. And remember, downed power lines can remain active for weeks after they fall, and if you discover them after the snow melts, you need to call LG&E right away.
And now a possible cause on that apartment fire last night that we also showed you from Sky 11. It was at 34th and Ali. These pictures were taken shortly before 7 o'clock last night. The 2-story building that housed a business on the first floor and apartments on top caught fire shortly before 7. Officials tell us a woman who lived there smelled smoke, went downstairs and saw the fire. She apparently tossed her son on the 2nd floor to safety down to the 1st floor. She also managed to get out. Thelma Smith says the fire started with a gas space heater on the 1st floor. No one was injured. Firefighters say the snow made it difficult to move the fire trucks out, but no major problems. They tell us on any fires today, though, they will have a heated bus nearby for firefighters to take breaks in to stay warm. Obviously, that wind chill out there could prove to be a very big factor for firefighters today.
Well, folks, you're going to have another day off tomorrow. We do have some school closings to tell you about already for tomorrow, and it includes the Jefferson County Public Schools. There's no school tomorrow, and here's the list. And they are still coming in, so stay with the news channel. We're going to keep updating it. Well, we need to look forward to when the big thaw is going to come, and Chuck Taylor's going to tell us about it next.
Hopefully it's not in the too distant future. We're hoping not anyway. The Storm Team forecast is next. Another live picture, though, from Sky 11 over the Ohio River. We keep looking for those ice chunks. Stay with us. Our live coverage continues. We've told you all morning long, if you don't have to be out, don't go. Most roads are still icy and very dangerous.
The News Channel's Chris Turner spent this morning surveying the roads out in Jefferson County.
You're lucky to be able to drive only 20 miles an hour on the plowed roads in Jefferson County, just outside Louisville, and that's only if you have four-wheel drive. Some of the better traveled county roads have been plowed, but they're bumpy and uneven with the packed snow. But side streets and lesser traveled roads are still snow covered, and sometimes you can't even get through.
You got a little bit of ice, you got approximately 1 or 2 inches of ice built up, and what snow that's left on it.
This guy drove from Bullitt County to the Dairy Mart on Miners Lane.
But you're seeing right here out in Bullitt County, it's real bad. It's four-wheel drive or don't even get out. That's what we've got.
Yeah, you find a lot of folks stuck out there? Some places impassable or what?
Looks like a parking lot on Zolton Road. That's where I live at, out there in that area. So it's pretty bad.
Look at Miners Lane where I'm standing here. This certainly would be one of the better of the secondary or county roads in Kentuckiana. It's been plowed, but still the snow here is packed pretty deep, and this is what is freezing, according to some of the drivers we've talked to, too, into that sheet of ice. The road also, it's normally 2 lanes, and it's been plowed to where there's barely 2 lanes open. The safest thing's probably where one car would wait for another car to pass by if you were to meet. Still, for the most part, we're seeing just 4-wheel drive vehicles of the vehicles that are able to get out at all, and it's going to be that way for several days to come, given the cold weather. And hey, when you think about it, we may have some of this snow and some of these slippery conditions literally for weeks to come. From near Miners Lane, Chris Turner, Kentuckiana's News Channel, WHAS 11.
Again, police are saying don't go out today if you don't have to. A lot of things are already closed for tomorrow, so the same sticks for tomorrow on the roads. They're probably going to be pretty slippery in the morning.
Well, down in Bullitt County, the roads are slick and dangerous, too. Emergency officials there tell us I65 is closed except for emergency vehicles, and this is a good example of how bad this storm really is. 480 people spent the night at Bullitt Central High School for shelter last night, and we're told most of those people are still there today. Coming up tonight at 5:30, and 6, we'll take you to Bullitt County and show you how things look. And this came across the wire a bit ago. They were saying statewide 1,900 people are still in shelters in the state of Kentucky due to this storm coming through.
Well, you know, Rachel, you and I watched this morning. Those huge TARC buses tried to get around this morning on downtown streets, but many didn't make it. In fact, we found this TARC bus stuck in the snow right near our station here downtown, but others moved slowly down the icy streets. Drivers we talked with are frustrated and cold.
TARC, I don't know what's wrong with them. I don't know what's wrong with them. There's no better than these buses out here.
I'll have to sit here until they come and get me out. You know, so no problem.
TARC is running, and we're going to have a complete schedule for you on exactly what they are doing. Rachel?
Day 2 of this big storm and day 2 of businesses being closed throughout Kentuckiana. We're in downtown Louisville on 4th Street. We did happen to find one business that's open right here, Walgreens. They said they decided to stay open because they have customers that need medication. Now, the only way they were able to stay open was to actually have the manager spend the night here. His name is Doug Johnson. He's standing right over here, and I want to introduce you to him because he's one of the people who's taking that extra step, going that extra effort just to ensure that his customers can be taken care of. Hello, Doug. How are you doing this afternoon?
How are you doing?
Tell us why you decided to spend the night.
Well, we were open till like 3 o'clock, and it just was harder to get home than it was to spend the night, and had to be right back this morning to get open, and it was just easier to stay.
What were the accommodations like here?
Well, I had a lawn chair and a TV and a microwave oven to warm something up, and that was it.
And how late are you staying open today?
We're going to stay open until about 3. I think some of the other Walgreens are staying open to 5, and we've got 3 24-hour Walgreens that will be open all the way.
Thank you, Doug, and thanks for talking to us. I know you've had a long day yesterday, a long night, and you're back at it again today. Thank you very much. And again, there are only a few stores open around Jefferson County and Kentuckiana today. Walgreens happens to be one of them. They have a pharmacy, and that's the primary reason that they are staying open. They need for their customers to have their very important medication. For Kentuckiana's News Channel, Stephanie Collins.
Thanks a lot, Stephanie. Now we need to tell you about some sports team, so I guess trying to stay open for business.
The real important stories.
Well, exactly. A lot of people out there definitely have cabin fever, and they want to know if they can watch their favorite games. Well, we are being told that the Kentucky Wildcats and the Indiana Hoosiers will play tonight live on ESPN.
And the Wildcats are going to take on Florida down in Gainesville, Florida, and they were scheduled to leave yesterday at about 1 o'clock. You may have heard us talking about that saga, but because of the weather conditions, their flight had to be canceled. However, they're going to fly out today at 1. Game time is 9:30 there.
That's right, and the Indiana Hoosiers take on Purdue, and apparently they didn't have to worry about canceled flights. They got on a bus yesterday, so they have made it in. They tip off at 7:30, both games live on ESPN. but maybe they should watch the news channel. I guess we have to say that. When we come back, we will be going live to the city's command post. Lisa Chiava will be updating the emergency operations going on there.
And we're going to tell you how things are going out at Standiford Field. But first, we're checking out more of our pictures from our live remotes at 1242, some of those stranded semis in Spaghetti Junction, just near downtown Louisville. More is coming right up.